Happy?
So happy. Oh dear. Hey everyone, welcome to That Pedal Show. Viewers and comments and questions and all that stuff live down here.
Mick here, hello.
I've lost the ability of speech.
Dan's got a new guitar day for Dan.
Yeah, listen to this. I'm going to put it down, otherwise I'm going to play.
Otherwise you won't stop playing.
No.
Dan's got a new guitar. He's made an epic vlog on it that will be upcoming over the holiday period. Happy holidays, everyone! Or
Happy holidays!
Merry Christmas, or whatever it is you say to one another. Yeah, welcome. VCQ, viewers, comments and questions, for those of you who are new and haven't been here before. We do this every Monday. This will be the last Monday of 2021 that we do it. Awesome. More news of which on the way. Jarrell04 says, "What do you think of getting your clean? What do you think of getting your tone from pedals and not from the amp?" You're doing it wrong, Jarrell. If you're looking at the tone coming from either one of those things, you need to think about it as an ecosystem. It's not from the amp, it's not from the pedals, it's from the ecosystem of everything, including you, your fingers, the guitar, and everything else. So probably not very hard to separate it out in that way. It is an old internet chestnut that bores the bejesus out of both of us. Yeah, that's a good grumpy way to start.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Thanks for the question.
Very good.
Okay. I'm done with Christmas hats. I've spent years cultivating this hairstyle.
If there's a way that I could.
Now that is a winner.
Isn't that great?
That is a winner.
Hang on.
Oh.
Boy. That's what the people come here for, Mick.
I think so. I think they do. And we're glad you're here. Welcome on this, wherever you are in the world, Monday.
Indeed.
Is it? Maybe it's Tuesday in Australia.
It would be by now.
Oh, thirsty. I've just filmed Dan doing the first strumathon on his new guitar. And, yeah, a bit hot.
So, roll call. Where is everyone joining us from? Let's see. Cage of Photo. Cheers from the Big Apple. Oh, dude.
Happy Christmas, guys, says Jeff Rock. Happy Christmas, Jeff.
Yes. John Channing says, Dan's got an early Christmas present. Indeed, I do. Actually, it's an early Christmas present. It's my 50th birthday present. It's a whole lot of things sort of rolled into one. I got the invoice and like order in 2019. Anyway.
That's how long it takes.
So good.
I can't wait to watch the vlog. Dan's captured the whole process of Johnny building that guitar, Johnny Kincaid, and very special it is too. So really, really, really looking forward to seeing that.
Lots more gratuitous shots coming up. But
all I'm going to say to you, mate, is the more you carry it around the studio, the more you'll dink it.
But I want to get it. Look at this. Look at this. Look. Oh my goodness. Look at this.
Just an astonishing piece of handmade acoustic guitar. Johnny's one of those few people left in the world who does every single bit of that by hand, including cutting the logo out.
You see that logo? Mother of Pearl logo, he cuts out by hand.
Cuts it out with a little coping saw. I wouldn't be coping, I can tell you. So yeah. And it's nice, just recorded it and it sounds flipping fantastic, even straight off the bench it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, can only get better from now.
Goodness knows what it's going to sound like in a year or two.
Man.
Yeah.
So
okay, cheers to BV Ninja. BV Ninja, thank you so much for doing all of this. It means the world to us, and thank you.
Yeah, it's been your help this year has been invaluable. So thank you, BV. Really appreciate you, mate. Thank
Massively
you so
so. And BV's given a shout out to that pedal shop. If you're in the US and you want to buy some pedals, go to that pedal shop. Woohoo! Okay, who else we got then? Hello from sunny Poog Quag, New York. Rich O. Maybe that's something I don't understand. Poog Quag in New York. Hello.
Hello indeed.
A big Rocky Mountain high from Missoula, Montana, says Pat Devlin.
Missoula, Montana.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did I do that gag last week?
The lion bloke.
Yeah. It's a wonderful thing.
Reassuring resonance of drums, given that we're going to do more band stuff tomorrow. For those of you asking, we're going to do everything, but obviously we can't do everything all in one go. So tomorrow we're going to have a tackle at reverbs and modulations. Single guitar still. We'll get into 2 guitars after the new year, but yeah, bit of a petit jamage,
It'll
Daniel.
be fun. It'll be really fun. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hello from chilly Duxbury, Massachusetts, says Clifton
lovely.
Roberts. Hello, Clifton. Thanks for being with us.
Abel Massarios says, hello from Hungary. And Tristan Bouchonnet says, hi from the middle of France.
Nice. Hello to the middle of France. We're not allowed there anymore. Chicago, Illinois, says Ted C. Ted C says, hello from Chicago, Illinois. Recording acoustic guitar, I have trouble getting the bass to come through as much as it is in the room without it sounding boomy. What's your advice? You should get... It's more far... I was just saying to Dan, having recorded his guitar, it's much more common to have to get rid of bass on an acoustic guitar because there's so much of it. I always find that if you've got 2 decent large diaphragm capacitors mics, or small diaphragms for that matter, Neumann KM184s or similar are really fantastic. Point 1 at the 12th fret, about, I don't know, 10 to 12 inches away. Point 1 at the bridge, same deal. Make sure they're gained up right for your playing, and you can get like most of it off that 12th fret mic and just mix the bridge mic in for the mid-range response you want. And if you've got a half decent guitar, should be more than enough bass.
It is all about the guitar, though, isn't it? So it was really interesting. Just sat here playing the guitar for the first time, and it's such a big, rich sound, and you can't put that in if it's not there. You know.
The thing you might be doing, Ted, is you might have the mic right in front of the sound hole, in which case there's your problem.
Right.
Because the sound hole is woofing all that air out, and so it's booming it out, and that's why it sounds woofy. So get your mics, use 2 mics and get them away from that sound hole. You should find you've got more than enough bass. Although Danish Pete does like sticking it right in front of the hole.
Mr. Wilson Whipper Bass says, Rochester, New York here. What up, brothers?
What up?
What up?
Indeed.
And Mark the Spark says, hi from Queen Bian, Dan. Queen Bian.
Queen Biandan.
Queen Biandan.
Is that in the Far East somewhere?
I got no
Sounds
idea.
like it's in Thailand. Queen Biandan.
Oh, Ian Stewart says, greetings from Pompeii.
Ah, nice.
Oh, man.
If you listen really carefully, you can still hear the Echo-Rec.
Very good. So we went to Italy a few years ago.
Holy moly, the super chats are flying in.
Pre-CV, they are.
Yeah.
And I said to my daughter really wanted to go to Pompeii. So don't worry, you know, Italy's my favourite place in the world. I plan to be here at least twice a year.
Not beer.
And we'll go next time we come over.
Yeah.
Of course. Now.
Then it happened. Then all the fun happened. I think. Oh God! Right, we've got to shut the super chats down now.
Already.
We've got to shut the super chats down now. Sorry, we have got absolutely loads.
Thank you to everyone that's joined us. and everyone's super chatted. It's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But I am going to shut them down now in order that we get through them all.
How many subscribers do you think we have, Michael?
I think we've got 298,517.
Okay, let's see. We have 298,509.
Okay, well that wasn't bad, was it?
That wasn't bad at all. Wasn't bad at all. Imagine if everyone here actually subscribed. We'd be so closer. So much closer.
Okay, if you have super chatted, we will answer you. If you haven't super chatted, please don't, because we won't get to it. I know it annoys people, but we've only got until 7 p.m. at the very latest, not least, because I'm going to a Christmas party.
And I'm going to sit in a room
Yeah.
with a very special instrument.
I said to Dan, do you want to come? I'm having some Christmas drinks with some friends. Oh, we've all tested. We've all pre-tested. Boris Johnson's organised it, so it's fine. And I said,
It's a
Dan,
business meeting.
do you want to come and have some Christmas drinks? And he's like, not really. Can I stay in your house and play the guitar? I'm like, yeah, you can. So, yes. Good. Right, let's get into it then. Let's get into it. Sorry we had to shut them down so quick. We get so many, we need to get through them. So, and grateful we are too.
Indeed.
So, Bartlett O'Shea. Hello, Bartlett.
Hello, Bartlett.
Thanks for being with us. He says, hi all, happy holidays. My aged Nitro Partsacaster has a rosewood board and the white fret markers are an eyesore. In lieu of replacing them, is there a better way to age them than with leather dye? Thanks.
Over to you.
Depends what they're made of. If they're proper clay dots, you should be able to just oil a fingerboard and as you normally would, and just let some finger poo get in there, and they'll be all right. If they're perloid or plastic, it's going to be harder to colour them. And I don't know much about that, I'm afraid. Interestingly enough, oh, it's not here. On Transit Van, one of my Strats.
You going to get it? Okay. I'll, just while it's gone. Just while it's gone.
Be a musical accompaniment to this part, Dan. You will see that they're really dark on this guitar. That's because when Fender changed to this particular variant of the American Vintage reissues, 2012, they tried to use a material that was much closer to the original clay, and I think this has had some sort of fret job
Oh, really?
or something, and they've gone really brown
Really? Yeah, right.
in a very unsightly manner.
Interesting. Can you not just clean them off?
I don't care
Okay. I don't care.
enough to do it.
Well,
I mean, but if they're a porous material, then probably not.
Sure, of course.
So it depends what they're made of. Good luck. I would imagine Das Internet is a much better source of information than me for that.
Can I show the good people what you got me for Christmas?
Let's do that in a while, Dan.
I'm so flippin' excited about it. I turned up today and Mick said I got you a Christmas present.
Well, to be fair, Dan got himself half a Christmas present because it was bought with TPS funds, to be fair.
For a ridiculously
low price, yeah.
Yeah.
Carl Longbottom's in with the Viz top,
Hey, Carl.
with the Viz top tips again and says, save money on expensive seals. Cover your black Labrador in grease and put its back legs in a welly and teach it to balance a ball on its nose. Thanks, Carl. If you're not familiar with Viz, the adult comic Viz, not that kind of adult comic, an adult comic Viz, please read it. It's hilariously funny. 67 Matza, or Matze, 67er. Hello friends, new guitar day last week, custom shop telly with Seth Lover humbucker in the neck, yummy. First test drive with a Beano boost, Barber small fry, Volante in a wet dry rig. Thanks for your inspiration and all the best for 22.
I bet that sounds awesome. Well done, mate.
Really cool.
Wonderful.
Really, really cool. It's 21/12/21 tomorrow, isn't it? It's like Russian then some.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, very good. 21.
21st of December.
21.
12.
112. Yeah.
21.
Wow.
Well, it's 20. It'd be better in 100 years, because then it would be 21/12/21/21. No, would be. This has gone on too far.
It has.
Giovanni Botta. Hello, Giovanni. Hi, guys. I look forward to be able to travel for an experience day.
Oh, awesome.
Any advice re G&L S500 USA neck warped around the 12th fret, causing a bit of buzz?
Got to take it to a good luthier.
Yeah.
Probably
isn't warped. Probably is something to do with the combination of your truss rod adjustment, fishtail on the back of the end of the fingerboard there. In fact, I've got a similar problem on my new guitar, which is annoying the crap out of me. It's just a bit of fret buzz. My friend Nev came in today to talk about his pedalboard.
Right.
And there's just a bit. I was hearing it when I was doing some audio today.
Okay.
And it's here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's there. So you've got a couple of options. Anyway, he looked at it and he said, you know what? A little bit of extra relief in the neck is probably going to solve it, because we're not sure if it's here or here.
Okay.
Because the neck's dead flat.
Yeah, but so the first thing that Johnny does is he files all these things down here, because the neck is kicking up at this point here where it joins the body. More of that in an upcoming vlog.
Yeah. I mean, it is a bit annoying, but
what a great
actually,
guitar.
that's not too bad. It's great. It is good. It is good. It's got some setup issues, which is what you expect of a £4,000 guitar, isn't it? So get it looked at, Giovanni, because unless you're experienced with these things, to understand where the source of the problem is, you're going to need to get a flat edge on it and have a look at the frets. It could be that a fret dress will solve your problem. If it is actually warped, you've got a much bigger problem, but it's very uncommon. Warp necks are very, very uncommon. It's a term that gets used a lot, but it is uncommon.
Yeah.
Very powerful truss rod in that G&L as well. I remember a couple of ASATs I had, maple board ASAT, and that thing, I had to adjust it at every gig. One of the reasons I got rid of it.
Really?
It's just like a flappy thing.
Interesting.
Neil Anderson. Yo guys, happy Christmas. Have a drink on me. Love the show. Thanks, Neil. I've learnt so much. I've recently bought tickets to see the Tedeschi Trucks Band in London next November.
Wow.
Are you going to have Derek on the show?
He keeps calling.
I know. I'm like, come on, man.
Seriously, give us some space. It'll happen when it happens, Derek. You know. You're kidding? How much would we love to have him on?
I mean, if there was any hope in hell of getting Derek Trucks on this show, he would be here. So we'll ask, but yeah, don't hold out too much hope. He doesn't seem to do a lot of that kind of stuff, Derek, to be fair.
No.
He's not massively. I know whenever we did him in Guitarist magazine, he was never that keen on doing press and publicity. It's not really his thing. He's probably all over every YouTube channel in the world, isn't he, at this second? Might have changed his mind a bit. Of course. God, how great would it be to talk to him? Flapamzy Z. Hi guys. I have a Tone King Sky King.
Nice.
What would be a good amp to pair this for wet dry? I would like the Tone King for dry and overdrive. I have an old PV Classic 50 somewhere. Would that be okay for headroom and the wet side?
Absolutely would.
Be great.
Be a really great shout.
Be totally banging, and you don't have to spend any money.
Yeah. No, that's a really good shout. They're great amps, those.
Yeah. Plenty of headroom, especially in the clean channel. Tons of headroom. Yeah, nice.
Great.
Yeah. Nice. No extra expense required.
Love that.
Such a nice amp, the Sky King.
It's remarkable.
They do make nice amps.
They do. They do.
Oh. Thirsty, Dan.
I hear you.
Not even any alcohol. Mickey Detrana. Hello, Mickey. You've very kindly super chatted. But there's no question, so I'll keep an eye on my telephonic device to see if Mr. BV will let us know. Morton Peterson. Hello, Morton. Merry Christmas, gents. I recently got me an AC15 and I've been going back and forth between Greenback and Alnico Blue. Which do you prefer and why?
Before I answer that, Chris Quinn had a very important observation about Derek trucks. Doesn't he just have to drive down from Newcastle?
Yeah, it's not far, is it, from the tune?
Okay. So good.
AC15 says Morton Peterson, Greenback or Blue, Daniel?
You'd be surprised how similar they sound in that amplifier. I'm always going to go Blue speaker in an AC15. I think it's a perfect pairing, that wattage, that power rating, and that speaker. And it is that classic Vox sound. Yeah, I've got to say Blue. It's my favorite. It's my favorite amp, favorite speaker, certainly for recording. It's an AC15 with the Blue is a magic recording speaker. You may get a bit more. Is the 25 a bit more efficient than the
less
Blue?
efficient?
The 25 is less efficient.
So it'll sound quieter and it's a bit easier to deal with actually at lower volumes.
Right.
Whereas the Blue is quite right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Recording wise, ours has got a Greenback in it. We never really
sounds magic.
Really felt the need to change it, but I'm with Dan. Hand on heart, a Blue is. I always love the sound of them.
Yeah.
But Greenback's really easy to live with.
Yeah.
And that in terms of volume, in terms of response, and Mike's great actually.
Yeah.
It always sounds good, Mike. That amp
really does.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the fact that you're going back and forth, Morton, means that there's not a huge amount in it for you, which is kind of surprising. But yeah. Shawnee is Cubs fan 1 says, "Hi guys, thanks for all the great work that you do. I hope you both have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. What do you think of Gibson Explorers? Cheers from Chicago."
Very cool guitars.
Unique sounding things as well.
They've got a really interesting clean sound, those guitars.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I always think they're a bit like tellies on steroids.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They've got a lovely bright edge to the front of the note. Yeah, very, very cool.
I like them. I don't have any of those guitars. Don't have a V because I'm just not man enough for it.
No, I had a V and I saw myself in the mirror with it and just went, "That ain't you, sunshine."
Yeah, you gotta have some balls to play a V, I think.
Yeah.
With apologies for all the male references, but you got to have a fairly serious ego to play a V and carry it off, I think. Not that we don't have a serious ego, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. Explorer, I would love an Explorer, but like all the Firebirds I've had, both of them, I can't stand the damn thing up.
Yeah.
So it's literally useless to me.
And the case is going to take up half the space in the...
It's going to have to be the best sounding guitar in the world for me to have a custom made stand for it.
Right.
I remember I got to a point with the Firebird where I just put it down and wherever it fell, that's where it stayed, because I got so hacked off with it just not leaning against the amp. You can, I suppose, lean it against the jack plug coming out, but it's just a nightmare. Because the majority of gigs that my life involved at that time, there wasn't enough space for things like guitar stands.
Sure.
Yeah, Explorer. Who do we like that plays Explorers? The Edge?
Yeah.
Hetfield, obviously. Explorer players, anyone? Billy Gibbons must have had a few.
Hedge.
Hedge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hetfield. There's literally 2 of them.
Rick Nielsen, probably.
You could just say Rick Nielsen after every sort of guitar.
Yeah.
The Hamer version of that guitar.
Yeah. Well, it was a good bet, isn't it? If you do play one, Shawnee, as Cubs fan, here's a doff of my virtual cap to you.
Indeed.
That you bring forth the rock for the people watching.
Indeed.
Matt Lloyd.
G'day, mate.
Hey guys, hope your holiday's going well. I was thinking that because so many people ask for cheaper versions of pedals, it might be interesting to have a series of shootouts between boutique pedals and cheaper clones. Yeah, I think it would, but if the boutique clone is good, and most of them are, it's not much of a shootout, is it? I mean, I think we are at the point now where all the best clones out there sound as good as a clone.
Sure.
Good. Dan and I have had a fairly hard discovery recently, or at least a remembering of the way of the world, where plugging in an SD1, a bog standard $49 SD1 and a $89 TS9 got us some of the best tones we've ever had.
Yeah.
So, which is not to say that, you know, all cheap pedals are great and all boutique pedals are well overpriced. It's, I know everyone out there, including us, agonises over what to buy, but, you know, at the risk of a career-ending statement, I think at some point you've just got to buy it and play.
Yeah.
I guess we go in and out of that, don't we, through our journey in guitar land.
I think what we could do is show you some of our favourite cheap pedals, like, you know, the Elect Lady for me, for example, would be an example. There's a few kicking about that we really, really like. I don't know. We'll have a chat about it.
Yeah. It's always. I agree with you, Matt. It's flipping interesting, and it's the question on most people's lips, isn't it? Why should I pay all this when I could pay that? Yeah. Rob Brewer. Hello, Rob. Happy Christmas, chaps. I've been riding out my booster vaccine hangover.
Oh, man, I'm right there with you. I had mine yesterday, and it's been a really interesting 24 hours.
With Keith 5 Watt World episode on the Get Back guitars. And of course it's giving me a bit of gas. How's the casino, Mick? It's really great, Rob, actually. Funnily enough, I've got halfway through the second one, Get Back. And I keep seeing John welded to his casino there, and such a great sounding thing. Man. And it's so funny when you hear it, it's like it could only be a casino.
Yeah.
It's great. I really love it. It's it just always sounds good. It always sounds good. I don't love the neck, unfortunately, which does put me off it a little bit. But you know,
was that a casino or a 330 we played at ATV?
The blue one that had gone green.
Yeah.
Casino.
Right.
Yeah. Such a great guitar.
That's one of the best guitars I've ever heard.
Actually, Neville, my friend Neville, who is editor of Guitar Techniques, who was my old boss, who edits writes for guitarists still, he's had the new USA casinos in. Expensive, but he said really, really, really good.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, obviously Gibson are building them, but
brilliant.
Michael Gilberto. Hello, Michael. No question today. I will miss the first part of the Q&A. Hope to rejoin later. Happy holidays to the whole TPS family.
Oh,
Indeed.
Thank you, mate.
Thank
you. That's very kind. Thank you.
Pearly. Hello, Pearly. Really interested in how you guys like your neck relief. If possible, I would appreciate a measurement.
Okay, I got no idea. Tiny little bit I put on there, but it's not a bit crazy low action. It's all
I wouldn't know from... I've got literally no idea about measurement. Quite a lot of people I know like it dead flat and then a tiny bit.
Right.
I like it more than that.
Sure.
How do you like it, Dan? Yeah. Fair bit?
Fair bit, is it? Yeah.
fair bit. I guess, how do you measure it? Do you...
12th fret?
You put a capo at the 12th fret and measure under the 7th or something? 14th fret?
Yeah, right.
Someone just let us know how you measure it, and then we'll do it.
Good shout.
We'll let you know. One of the things I need to fix on the new Strat is I need to put a bit more relief in the neck. For those of you who don't know, a guitar neck, you imagine that it's flat, but it's actually not flat. It should be slightly concave, i.e. higher at the nut and the bridge than in the centre of the neck, because why? At the nut and the saddle, the string doesn't vibrate very much. In the middle, it vibrates a lot. Right. And also, when you push down, you need some space for the strings to not hit the frets on the way up to the bridge. Yeah. 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 If someone tells us how to do it, we'll measure it. Let's see. Fabian Salomson says, I hate that the inlays are flipped on the new USA casinos. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Flipped from this, you mean? So it's a sort of diamond sort of shape, and the high side is on the bass side. Are they flipped from that? Yeah, would be good to get a picture. Come on. Who's going to tell us how to do it? Right, capo on the first, push down at the body joint, measure the distance to the 7th or 8th fret. Says Tom McGovern. Keep the people happy, Dan.
Okay. What guitar are you going to measure?
Red.
Red? Okay, alright.
No capo. How is it possible not to have a capo? That's not possible.
Oh, it's possible. Anything's possible.
No, that's not possible. It's fundamental.
What are you going to measure it with?
Huh?
What are you going to measure it with?
A measuring device.
It's that much.
Huh? Come on, Dan. Come on. In the game.
Alright, okay.
Come on, keep people happy.
Alright, I'm going to keep people happy. What I'll do. So, again, any excuse to grab this. It's for this.
I see. That's keeping the people happy, is it, Dan?
Well, it's keeping me happy. What do you got? Oh, you got. Oh, okay, you got actually. Right, that's how you do it.
You might have to use your eyes, but.
Okay.
So, capo at the first fret. Oh, I don't believe it.
Hang on, I'll just hold it.
Okay. And then measure.
Got to push down at the body.
Push down where it joins the body, and we're measuring at the 7th fret.
Yeah, that'll do. But do you measure from the top of the fret, or do you measure from the
top of the fret to the underside of the string? Usually, isn't it?
Yep. So go on the other side. Go underneath the string.
I can't see that. I just can't see.
Okay. Move that luscious head of hair out. Thank you. That is just over 1 millimetre.
Probably got a feeler gauge somewhere. So just over 1 millimetre.
Yep. About the same.
Bit more, I would say.
Yeah. If anything, no.
My eyes are saying a bit more.
Yes, a bit more. Not quite, yeah. Not quite 1.5, but
because if you look at that,
more.
So use the string as a straight edge and look down the edge of the fingerboard.
Oh yeah, wow, okay.
And if you compare that to red.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, it's definitely got more relief than red.
Yeah.
But you're talking, measuring it like that, you're talking microns of difference.
And it doesn't, I don't think it...
Oh, microns?
I don't think it tells the story about the neck pitch and where the bridge is. And so it's good, it's a start point.
Sure.
But it doesn't really tell you very much about what's happening after the 12th fret.
Yeah.
Which obviously is an action consideration. But I think the lower you like your action, the more crucial it is.
Right.
And as not real fans of low action, I don't worry about it too much. Yeah.
That's Cox says, I have a self-replicating fuzz pedal problem. It's not a problem, it's a blessing.
I like less than Fender's recommended relief. Doubt it will be over 1mm, says Darren O'Toole. You need feeler gauges, says Michael D. Yeah, we know. Yeah, then you're talking about 10,000th and 12,000th of an inch, which I don't know how much that is. Anyway, we're knocking about a mil or just over, which is, for people who obsess about these things on forums, it's probably way too much. All I'm going to say is play one of Matt Schofield's guitars.
Right.
Or indeed Stevie Ray's number 1, which I haven't played, but I do know people that have measured it.
Right.
Right. Wishing you and the loved ones a wonderful holiday season, says Angus McLean.
Thanks, Angus.
Could wet dry dual mono be done with a 2-input amp as long as you fix the phase, such as a deluxe reverb or an AC30?
Yeah. We've done it quite a few times. It's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
You can put things like the AC30, you've got your bright channel and your normal channel, and you might put your delay or something on the normal channel, and you've got like a master volume for your delay side. It's really cool.
Yeah, what it is, it's essentially a slightly more nuanced parallel effects loop.
Yeah.
Because what you've essentially got is control over how much wet you want to mix in, but of course you've also got the tonality of that separate channel, so it might be that you might want to run it dirtier or more trebly and less bassy or something like that. So it is similar, but one of the points of departure is it's all coming out the same speaker or speakers, and there is definitely something about dual mono, wet dry, whatever you want to call it, of having two separate things coming out of two separate speakers.
Yeah.
It sort of enhances the whole deal.
Yep, indeed.
Because once you're going through one single speaker, obviously it's all mixed back in again.
Yeah.
But yes, you certainly can. It's a great way, actually, on, I didn't know this till fairly recently, on plexis especially, of mixing in a bit of delay to the second channel. It's really cool. Put
Very
a delay in between when you jump the inputs. Jason Thompson. Hello, Jason. Lag-ends. I got a 65 Princeton reverb.
Nice.
Grabbed an Ironman Mini to keep the level down. Will something like the JHS attenuator work similarly for a Hot Rod Deluxe in the effects loop? Merry Christmas. Thank you for a great year.
So the difference being that you are simply reducing the level of the preamp going into the power amp when you do that.
You're just turning the power amp down.
Yeah. Well, you just turning the signal in the power amp as opposed to having all the signal going through the power amp and having that to its limiting as well.
Yeah.
And it's such an important part of that sound. However, it's an attenuator is not a magic fix for that, because when you put that in, I mean, it changes everything. It changes impedance and stuff, and also the speakers aren't reacting the same. They're not being driven in the same way. So you've got more of the ingredients of that sound, but not all of them.
Just thinking about the Hot Rod Deluxe, because the power amp in is after the master volume, isn't it? Because the master volume doesn't make any difference.
Right.
I don't think So we're half right, but you're essentially just turning down what the power transformer and tubes, what the output transformer and tubes see.
Yeah, you're reducing the signal going into that power section.
Coming out of it, I think.
What, coming out of the power stage?
I think so, because the master volume isn't in.
No, but it'll still be before the power tubes.
Yeah, and before the phase inverter, presumably.
Yeah. So again, but that's so if we take that as the power section, we're just taking that signal, sending it from the send, and then reducing that before it hits. So that can be post master volume.
Yeah, because in most amps, all you'd be doing is essentially adding another master volume control.
Yeah.
But in the Hot Rod Deluxe, you're right, because I'm pretty sure that effects loop comes after the master volume.
Right.
I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure it does, because when you plug in, if you plug a preamp into the effects loop return, the master doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
It's not going to make a massive difference.
No.
I don't think.
No, I don't think so. I think if you A/B between that and the master volume, I think it'd be pretty comparable.
And in addition to that, of course, the master volume doesn't work at all in the clean channel, so it may well help you crank that clean channel.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, but it's, as Dan rightly said, it's not doing the same job as an attenuator, which comes after your power tubes and output transformer.
Yep.
KJ Photo. New guitar day, but I'm conflicted. I say convicted. Careful. I picked up a player Strat from a pawn shop here in New York City for $450, which is a great deal for me. But I'm thinking about the guy or girl who had to give up their guitar. What are your thoughts? Oh man!
Oh boy!
What a way to think about it.
That is not your task. It's your compassion. It's wonderful. Don't get me wrong. It's you. If
that is a moral maze.
It is. If they had come to you and said, "I am destitute. I don't have any money. This is my most beloved thing in the whole wide world, but please take it off my hands, so I can afford to pay rent." But
and you said, "Okay, I'll give you $200 for it."
Yeah, exactly. You tried to buy them down, then that would be awful. But you don't know. It might have just been a surplus guitar that he'd never played. I mean, I remember a cousin of mine pulling an electric guitar out of his bed that had been sat under there for 20 years and never played. It was just gathering dust. And in that sort of situation, it was easier for them to take it down to a pawn shop and just get rid of it. You don't know.
And life happens, right?
It does.
I've been broke and had to sell all my guitars for much less than they were worth, and been through periods of not having any money. I mean, I've never been homeless. I've been lucky enough not to do that. And you learn something from that whole experience. You do, and life does happen. So I guess if you feel that bad about it, the pawn shop will have the details of the people who it belongs to.
You can't give them out.
No.
Well, if you walk in and say,
well, I'm sure you could broker some sort of communication via the dealer.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I would say, it is what it is. Swings and roundabouts. You roll with the punches. You ebb and flow, and today it's going in your direction.
Yeah. But congrats on the guitar.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I know. Hopefully that doesn't sound too hard, but, life happens.
It does. It is a weird one though.
And you can't solve all social problems by.
If you start looking at that, it gets overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe what you could do is find a way of paying it forward.
Great.
That would be a good way to do it. I appreciate. I'm probably. I'll just tell you the story anyway. We had some people staying at our house. I had a really old acoustic guitar there that I don't play. It's just there for people to play.
Mm-hmm.
The guy really fell in love with it. He's got a really crappy nylon string old thing that's really rubbish. He doesn't have any money. And I gave him the guitar. I just said, why don't you have that? If you like it, have it. And he literally could not believe it.
Right.
And I said, well, you know what? somebody gave it to me.
Oh, lovely.
So the deal is, when you don't want it anymore,
you pass it on to someone else.
Give it to someone else.
That's lovely.
It's not going to happen with any of my Strats anytime soon, but I think the idea of paying it forward is a good thing.
Yeah, I gave away a Telecaster once when I was teaching guitar. I had a couple of students in Manly, and this one young kid, and he was getting really good, and he'd had a hard situation at home and stuff, and I'd had this string breaker forever, and I was leaving, and it's like a maple neck Tele sort of no-brander. It was a really great guitar. I gave it to her before I left. Yeah, and it is. I've always thought it'd be great to have something set up where people that didn't use instruments anymore and kids that really wanted to learn them.
Yeah, those organisations do exist, actually.
And it's a great thing, really great thing.
Then you find them all in a warehouse somewhere getting sold by some unscrupulous bastard.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Uwe Landsberg. Uwe, hello. He says, hi Mick and Dan, just want to say thanks for all the great episodes this year. It's helped me 2 times through quarantine in China.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
You're so welcome, mate. Thank you.
Hope you're doing okay, Uwe. Gordon Rankin.
Hey, buddy.
Ridiculously generous, Gordon. Thank you.
Oh, mate. Well, Gordon, thank you, mate.
Too kind. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Gordon, for all your help and support this year. Really appreciate you chiming in and helping out, mate. You're an absolute legend. Thank you, bud.
Hope that puppy's doing okay. Adam Loris. He says, love the show. I somehow ended up with a Marshall 2536A.
He somehow just ended up with it.
212 closed back with 2 Celestion G12 vintage. I hate the sound. It's really thin and harsh. New speakers or just the new cab? Merry festives to you all. That's interesting. 2536A 212. What is that then? Oh, okay.
So
it's their modern vertical 212.
Yeah.
No reason it should sound thin and rubbish. The thing with greenbacks is you've got to give them a bit of welly. Play bass through it loud for 2 days.
Yep.
And just give those speakers a chance to do their thing.
Get your guitar down to drop A, hit it really hard, and just put it in a loop, and just let it do its thing. You'd be stunned what a difference it makes. Yeah. Even just a few hours of that into new speakers, just to get things loosened up.
Yeah, that could be it. I don't know this. I'm making wild assumptions. I assume it's a particle board cab, probably.
Right.
Given that it's new and affordable. It might not be. Yeah, no reason it should sound thin and harsh, though. Unless there's something wrong with the speakers, of course. Has it been messed around with? Are they out of phase?
Interesting.
Yeah, try that. Try breaking it in, Adam, and see if that helps. Patrick Pierce. Hello, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
D&M, the best legs on YouTube. I'm sure that's not true. Considering trading in my Timeline and Fathom, so Strymon Timeline and Walrus Audio Fathom Reverb, Timeline delay, for a Source Audio Collider. It will save space and power on the board. What are your thoughts? Happy Merry.
The Collider is one of our favourite pedals. Did that come out this year?
Don't think so.
Okay, but it is epic. If it will do everything that you want it to do, then it's a great shout.
It's a no-brainer, actually. If you want simple delay and reverb, it's an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because it takes up so much less space, as you say. If you do want all the weirdy, beardy stuff in the Timeline, then it won't do some of that, but it's quite amazing what it does do. I'm pretty sure it's got a shimmer reverb, for example. I don't know, I haven't got one here. Anyway, yes. Here we go.
Just back to the point we were making earlier, Mark Guitar says, I've been giving away starter guitars to broke kids in my area for many years. I get them from skips and junk shops via friends and teach people how to make them playable. He's probably done it for around 50 guitars so far. That's amazing, Mark. That's amazing. There you go. It's so good.
That's what we're talking about. The Source Audio Collider.
Yeah.
Delay modes are oil can, reverse, tape, analog and digital. Reverb modes are room, hall, true spring, plate, shimmer, e-dome and swell.
So it's got all the essentials in there, and a couple of fun things as well, but it doesn't go overboard on the really out there sounds that are fun to play but would rarely get used. Like, there are usable sounds from all of those. I
tell you what I like about it. I took it out of the box and I went, oh yeah, there's a switch there that says delay, reverb or lock. So if you put the switch there, the knobs change the delay. If you put the switch there, the knobs change the reverb.
Yep.
If you put it in the middle, the knobs don't do anything. I even managed to create presets and save them and like the sounds without reading the manual.
Amazing.
And that's me.
Great.
So yes, unreserved recommendation. Unreserved from me anyway.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Chris Groom. Chris, blimey, generosity, man. Thank you so much. He says, hi, Mick and Dan.
Oh, wow.
Have a great Christmas and New Year. Blimey, that's very kind of you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, man.
We will now.
And Eagle Ray Rob, likewise, generosity. My goodness me. He says, no question. I just wanted to wish everyone lots of love and happiness for the remainder of 2021 and all of the new year. May our tone be blessed, each and every one of us. Thanks to all the TPS legends.
Tone be blessed, each and every one of us.
That goes to the group. Thanks so much, Rob.
That's wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, bud.
That's very kind of you. Mickey, see, we can afford to pay Doug tomorrow now.
Great. Excellent.
Dougie drummer. Doug is a professional musician. That's how he makes his cash, doing that and teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So we do like to pay him a respectable rate to come in and play the tubs as a professional hire.
Yeah.
We're not really up for asking for favours especially not when we ask him to be here all day and put up with us.
Absolutely.
Mickey Detrana. Mickey. Hello, Mickey. He says, hello from Surrey. Love the show and banter. Any chance you could review an SV20H? Not having any luck pairing it with a suitable overdrive. Guitar is a custom shop Les Paul with the 212 greenbacks. That's the Studio Vintage Marshall, isn't it? SV20H.
Are they the old ones?
No, new.
Oh, okay. What was the old ones? Modern vintage.
Vintage modern.
Vintage moderns, right.
Until they became the modern vintage, and then we just became vintage again. Yeah, it would be good to have a look at it. They are, anything in the Plexi tradition, Mickey, is, I don't know if you've had an amp like that before, they are flipping hard work because they're so aggressive sounding. And, have a look at the Marshall actually built that flashy new studio and they're making some lovely videos.
Right.
There was one with Justin Hawkins.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, maybe it was Dan Hawkins.
Dan Hawkins.
It was Dan Hawkins. Apologies, Dan. Playing a 50-watt Plexi and just getting the most magic flipping sounds out of it. Some really good tone tricks in there as well. And but you have to engage with that amplifier. And
totally.
I don't know if the 20 is the same. They do sound scratchy and thin until you belt them.
Right.
So, and that is a problem in terms of volume.
But when you do get the chance to belt them, there's something else. What was the amp we had in here?
Someone else.
2061. The 2061. Right.
Yeah.
And it was like dimed. Everything on 10. Mick came next to us as, man, you got to hear this. And just came in and put the junior into it. It was like, that's it. That's the sound.
It was. There's a guy called Mike 2203 fan who you'll see in the chat for TPS, and sometimes he's here in these chats. And he came to an experience day, and he said, "Oh, I've heard you guys are really interested in a 2061, and you want to mess around with one. Is it all right if I bring mine?" Like, yeah, it is. And he said, actually, since I've had it, I haven't really been able to crank it up because of where I live and everything. He said, could you crank it up? And I said, what, like this? Les Paul, bang! And it just sounded majestic.
Yeah.
But
it's
again,
a different amp, but played with that, it's a different thing.
Low volume, tough. So your actual question, Mickey, was what about a pedal? Dan and I had a massive revelation last week with the Thorpe Heavy Water.
Oh my word! Oh my goodness!
Those of you who've got one or know about it, this won't be any news to you. But holy moly!
I'm expecting comments to going. Shh! Don't
say anything. Don't say anything. It's the boost side of the Danish Pete Dane, and that again, but with a bit of clipping in it. And my goodness me, that can take the cleanest of clean high watts or Marshalls into the most glorious gain.
Yeah.
Absolutely crushing amounts of front end. So if you like the way the amp works and you don't want to colour it EQ wise, something like that Thorpe Heavy Water would be really fantastic.
David Rustader says best boost on earth.
It's so good. It's amazing. so good. Nice one, David. Aside from that, something maybe that's got bass and treble EQ so that you can just get it exactly where you want. So Benson preamp kind of thing. I know these are all quite spenny items. It's so tough, because there's so many fantastic overdrive pedals out there and everyone likes something slightly different. Check out the Boss SD one. Works with Marshalls like...
Yeah, really does.
Toast and butter, man. Yeah. But only if you like the sound.
Yeah.
Good luck. Mike Hickman. Hello, Mike. Hey, gents. Can you explain wet-dry phase issue stuff regarding speaker size? Is there anything else to know when building wet-dry rig for bass? Thanks and happy holidays to you.
Okay. So if you've got two 12-inch speakers and they are out of phase, it's pretty obvious. The speaker, the bass response from the different speakers can make telling whether the if you've got a 10-inch speaker and a 12-inch speaker and you flip the phase on one, because they sit in such a radically different space frequency-wise, it can be challenging to work out which one's in phase and which one's not. Certainly, I just find that rule is, if you put lots of bottom end in there, if you've got, if you want to work out what it is, get rid of all the treble and just have low frequencies going into both speakers, and then flip phase and see what happens.
Really hard with bass.
It is, yeah.
I don't know if you have access to it, but if some days we'll flip the phase and we're not really sure. Some days it's so clear it's completely obvious, and some days we're like, so we just record a bit and then you hear it.
Yeah.
Then you really, really hear it when you record it.
But it's hard being in the room.
Yeah.
With it, room's got its own standing wave and where they're positioned and where you're positioned.
Especially
in relation
a room
to them.
with loads of reflections.
Yeah, totally. This can be really, really tricky.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess if you're talking about bass and you're pairing 10s with 15s, or 10s with 12s, or 12s with 15s, or 15s with 18s, if you're in a really awesome band, with the 5,000 watt valve power amp, all the same applies. We're not bass experts, so
there was a bass player that used to. He did one depth for us in Sydney, and he had like a really low slung P bass. He had an Aussie Monitor power amp, and just a 1x18 cab.
Yes.
And
I already like it.
It was the most unbelievable bass sound. And you could hear everything crystal clear. Really? And he was just like, it was just, there was so much bottom end. It just was so good.
Andy K says, Merry Christmas, chaps. May your amps and pedal boards be harmonious, your glasses and plates and stockings full, and your lateral flow tests negative.
Thank you very much. Thanks,
buddy. Andy.
Appreciate that.
Likewise. Right back at you. It's everyone's a bit on edge at the moment, aren't they? So plenty of testing. Be sensible. Happy days.
Yeah.
Tone Sheriff, you guys should try out the Humboldt Silver Linings drive pedal. I would love to see your take on it, says Tone Sheriff. So DSM and Humboldt, who make the Simplifier and the Simplifier Deluxe, have done an overdrive pedal.
Wow.
Yeah, would be really good to hear it. Guitar Moog, no question. No question, says Guitar Moog. Just a happy Christmas from Brussels and a big thank you for keeping me cheered and occupied through an awful year spent in bed with long COVID.
Oh, man.
So sorry to hear that.
Oh, blinking heck, that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, bud.
I got a couple of friends with that and it's just miserable.
Well, one friend of mine had it at the start of all of it. Still can't taste anything.
Wow.
You know, it's boy oh boy.
Chin up, Guitar Moog. We're happy that we can be of some relief in your convalescence, and hope you.
Apparently,
hope
we have too much relief.
Yeah.
We'll try and not have so much relief.
Yeah, less relief.
Less relief.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope you feel better at some point. Hope it improves.
Yeah.
G Barge, hello G.
Hey G.
Season's greetings from Northern Carolina, where you and your families are always welcome. Thank you.
Okay, we'll be there.
Just a wee contribution to your Winnipeg Nashville purse with thanks for helping us hold it together this strange year. It has mattered.
Oh,
nice
mate.
guitar, Dan.
Thank you, and thank you. I know.
G, your generosity is bonkers. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
That is tremendously kind of you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
We will put it to good use, we promise. More news of which soon. Albus Band.
Hey,
hello,
bud.
Aaron. How are you, mate? He says, hello.
Hello.
Said as Mrs. Doubtfire. All my love to you, and what a show Friday was. Who knew a Metal Zone was so flexible? As always, thank you all at TPS, says Albus Band.
It's so funny. So, it's one of those shows. I watched it and I thought, because you remember filming it and it was really great. And then you watch it back and I thought, oh man, this show is so cool. And I was so impressed with the Metal Zone and that the sound at the end,
Yeah.
where it got the two.
Took us both by surprise, that didn't it?
Yeah, so interesting. So interesting.
I think Metal Zone's probably been done to death on YouTube, and there's
Right.
probably a lot of trepidation with people going, "Oh no, I'm not going to click on that if they're just going to give it a kick in and say how rubbish it is." It was the opposite of that.
Indeed. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Ross Philpott, I saw Josh Smith this year because of you, and crafted the best guitar tone I've ever had. You constantly inspire me, so please have a drink on me.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much,
Oh,
Ross.
how lovely.
That's very kind of you.
This has put me into a very Christmassy mood.
Excellent. Maybe you'll come for that Christmas drink after all, Dan.
I'm good. But I will be thinking of you having your Christmas drink while I'm at home with my...
With your new
With my new
acquisition.
container, yep.
Would you dog sit, actually?
Of course.
She'll just go to sleep. She's been in daycare today.
Yeah, of course.
That'd be great.
What were you going to do?
Thanks,
Take her with
mate.
you?
Yeah.
No.
But she'll
leave
be
her
in
home with
pain
me.
at a party. And
No, leave her home with me. That'd be lovely.
It's not really a party. It's a drink with some friends. Cinnamon Street 80s Band. Cinnamon Street 80s Band. That sort of reminds me a little bit of the E Street Band, the way it rolls off the tongue there. Well done to Bruce Springsteen this week.
What did he do?
What did he do? He sold his back catalogue to Sony for $500 million, reportedly. Reportedly, around $500 million. $500 million. $500 million.
Wow.
I can't imagine Brucey needs
He's a working class hero.
any cash at this point, right? It's not like he needs the cash.
No.
I wonder if he'll do something philanthropic with it, actually.
I saw him. A friend of mine was having a stag weekend and got us tickets to go and see him, and I was never a big fan of his. But I thought, it'd be good to see him, and he was at Wembley. Tell you what, man, I was transfixed for 2.5 hours. Couldn't take my eyes off him. There was no crazy lighting or fireworks. It was just the band on stage.
Yeah.
And it was just, I came away from that.
Nice. Killer
Changed.
band. Killer band.
So good.
He also ignites a lot of political arguments in the US, which is quite humorous to watch from afar. Anyway, Cinnamon Street 80s Band says, "Hi chaps, thanks for a great year. I have a Hampstead Artist 20RT combo with a small board.
Lovely.
I'm looking to try out dual mono wet dry." I love the way people are calling it dual mono wet dry, so as not to antagonise Mason. Suggestions on amps: looking at Bad Cat Club 40R, medium gain rock, stroke clean.
Lovely.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd be absolutely quids in with the Bad Cat.
They're amazing amplifiers, actually. I think that's a really nice compliment for the Hampstead as well.
Yeah. To be honest, any mid-power tube amp that sounds pretty good partly cranked.
Yeah.
And that's basically all of them. What we always think is a good idea to get either something exactly the same or quite different. If you get something that's sort of kind of the same but not, you can be overloading in certain areas, whereas complementary amps, so I don't know, the core voice of the Artist 20 is what?
Was it cathode biased DR34s? It's quite
pretty open.
Yeah.
So in which case you probably could pair anything character with that. So you could go Voxy, you could go Deluxey, you could go in pretty much any direction with that amp actually. Yeah. So, but Bad Cat amps, blimey, wonderful things. Haven't actually played the Club 40, but
I've played it.
Sorry, Cub 40.
Yeah.
They're
I've played it. They're amazing.
Yeah. Go for it. Craig Stanton. Craig, thank you so much for your super chat, but there is no question. I'll see if there is one. BV has actually said, there's a question in the chat saying, will a t-shirt ordered today for UK delivery have a chance of arriving before Christmas? And no question for the missing super chat. It certainly has a chance, given that we will keep posting up until Wednesday, I think.
Right.
There'll be information on the top of that pedalshowstore.com about last posting dates. There are certain things you can do to get, I don't know, whatever the premium postal services are, recorded delivery, special delivery, that kind of thing. Should get there. Royal Mail, pretty good.
Yeah, they're very good.
There's still a chance of getting something to the States if you choose UPS, but
it's a small chance.
Not if you do ground, normal shipping, not ground shipping, but non-UPS. So yes, there's a chance. Information will be on that pedalshowstore.com because Catherine will have been extremely diligent about making all that stuff clear. Thanks for the cue. Brian Carpenter, happy holidays, D&M. I'm looking at a Player Series telly. Would you select one based on fretboard material or colour? My perfect combo doesn't exist. Always fretboard material for me.
Yeah.
Because I can't play maple.
Right.
Although I would imagine on the Player Series it's probably satin anyway, so it'd be much easier to play.
Yeah. If you find the right, if a guitar takes you when you look at it, it's like, that's really striking. Definitely give it a go, because every now and then a guitar with a fretboard that you might not think you like, you can pick it up and go, wow, this is really, really cool. I've had it with a couple of I've always struggled with the maple neck thing, but when I played, obviously Butters is a different thing, but like the Ed O'Brien Strat, the neck on that I absolutely love.
Yeah. Satined off, isn't it?
Yeah, and your Mexican reverse headstock thing.
I satined that.
Yeah.
I can play that okay.
Yeah.
Still not as nice as Rosewood for me.
No, but it still sounds great. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think you just got to go with your gut, and the minute it gets into your brain, you've overthought it.
Good. Very good.
Yeah. Poqueg, says Richo, is the town I live in. Nothing nefarious about it. Good try on the pronunciation. It's pronounced Poqueg. I knew that because I read the last line first. Poqueg.
Very good.
Poqueg. Thanks, Rich. Music Therapy Laz. Merry New Year. Be careful of gorillas on trains. Happy holidays to all. Love you guys. You rock.
Thank you, buddy.
There's obviously a reference in there I don't quite get. Gorilla on a train. Was it Phil Collins?
I'm just thinking of Trading Places.
Oh.
Where they had the New Year's Eve party.
Ah.
And there was a gorilla on the train.
That must be it.
That must be it.
Yeah.
Was it... yeah, anyway.
Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. Was that right? Trading Places?
Yeah. Genius film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at those two on the cage. They're in love. Ah!
David Rutledge. Hello, David. Happy holidays from Nashville. Best wishes to you all and your families. Thanks for making our community's lives brighter. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. Hopefully we'll get out there next year.
Yeah. Yeah, would be great. Would be good. Jolly Willard. Hello, Jolly. Cheers. Thanks for making what seems out of reach attainable. On TPS, questions, mistakes and learning are all part of the fun and accomplishment. I actually started using M1D1 this year.
Nice.
Wow. Nice one, Jolly. That's good. I'm pleased that we have that sort of environment where it's not like, oh, you don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Some media can be a bit like that.
Yeah. We're still learning every day.
Every day. Thanks, Jolly. Merry new everything to you. Per Erik Flustrom. Obviously needed to be said with such a silly voice. From Sweden, Per Erik Flustrom says, sorry, I just always think of the chef in the Muppets. Hey, happy holidays, you wonderful people. No question today, just a thank you from Helsingborg, Sweden.
Oh, lovely.
Helsingborg.
We went over the bridge into Sweden, didn't we, and came back?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, I've been to Sweden a few times. Been to Göteborg and been to Stockholm, and I've been up north to Umeå, to the Guitar Museum.
I'm just seeing the chef.
Yeah.
Well, who had the idea? I know how to make a really great character. A Swedish chef?
Well,
awesome!
We don't actually know he was Swedish. He could equally have been Belgian, to be fair.
Right.
Just look at the Belgians. The BXLer. The BXLer. Help! I've played bedroom guitar for the last 15 years, and on Wednesday I'm jamming with a bass player and drummer for the first time.
Fantastic! Oh, well done, mate. That's awesome.
I'm excited but nervous. Do you have any tips and advice? Cheers and happy holidays, you legends, says the BXLer.
I think if you've been a bedroom player for that long and you're going for your jam, you've done all the hard work, have fun, just enjoy it. What I would do before you go, for an hour before you go, at some point, if you can turn up your rig past where you're used to playing it, because it's a very different volume scenario when you've got a drummer and a bass player. And what you'll find is your rig becomes something different at higher level. Yeah. So just for an hour or so, just turn it up past where you'd normally have it. Doesn't have to be really loud, but just past where you... And just explore the differences with the sounds that you normally use. Just explore how they now sound at volume and how they feel and how the guitar reacts at volume. Otherwise, you get into that space, and to be in that scenario where you've got that sort of sound pressure level happening, and not having done that, not having experienced a bit higher than normal volume, it can be a bit challenging. But apart from that, just have fun, mate. It's jamming with people is one of the most fun things you can ever do. It is. One of the hardest things is just everyone getting their inhibitions out. Yeah. Well, I don't mean like get naked or anything, but everyone can feel sort of locked in a bit and scared. And I don't know if there's anything you can do to sort of break that. I don't know what classic techniques for doing that would be. Sing a song, or I don't know, do some yoga or something equally ridiculous. But if you can just get everyone relaxed and laughing, that's when it starts to flow.
and try and play together. I know that sounds like the most simple thing possible, but instead of everyone trying to play something complex that they've been practicing for weeks, try, all of you, just playing something incredibly simple, but together.
Yeah.
Because that's where it is. Funnily enough, I was having a conversation with Dan yesterday and Neville this morning. It's a bit of a leap for a comparison here, but having halfway through the Beatles documentary, the new Let It Be 3-parter, I think it's fair to say that by today's standard of virtuosic musicians, the Beatles weren't that, right? So at no point is George Harrison going to do any 8-finger tapping, or, you know, he's not John Petrucci. Ringo is not exactly Marco Miniman, etc. Which is not pejorative, right? It's not. I'm not saying anything is better or worse. I'm saying
that's not who they are.
By virtuoso standards, none of them were. What they were was a virtuoso band.
Yep.
Their skill, the reason they were so great, the reason they wrote all the best songs in history, is because they played together, and it was far, 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 far more than the sum of its parts. And even though it's the Beatles, and even though they're the most successful band of all time, and even though at least 2 of them were bona fide geniuses, I think we can all take something from that and just strip it back, play it simple, but play together. And that's the best thing you can ever do in a band. That's also the point that the audience puts their heads up and go, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and that comes from listening to each other.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard and easy.
Yeah. Have fun. Have fun, mate. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Sorry, a bit controversial there, but hopefully no one will disagree too much with that.
That's it.
That's it. I'm done. You said George Harrison's not as good as John Petrucci. I am out. I didn't say that. Yes, Eric Zenhausen. Hello, Eric.
Hello, Eric.
He says, thanks for all you do. Given a generous but ultimately finite budget, would you choose 2 good amps for wet-dry dual mono, or would you choose one forever amp, like a boutique hand-wired custom job?
Oh, that is a fantastic question. Boy, oh boy.
Easy for me, 2 lesser for wet-dry.
Yeah, but I still think those 2 lesser, I wouldn't have, if I had a choice personally between the Matchless and 2 I don't know, it depends on how much lesser, because even though,
take the budget and cut it in half.
Right,
so you've got $4,000 to spend on 2 amps.
Oh, I'd get something decent, really nice for a couple of grand each. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
the other thing you could do is look used and maybe get something that might be the forever amp used, because they're all available, and something much lesser for the wet dry thing, with a view to hoofing that up to something more desirable. But you know what? 2 Pro Juniors.
Yeah.
On the end of a nice pedal board.
Lovely.
You know, controversially, more usable than my flipping 2-rock in today's climate. Much as I love it, and you know how much I love it.
I do.
But it is very, very, very hard to use.
Because it's got to be working.
It's got to be loud.
Yeah.
And it's like... So yeah, there's a practical consideration in there.
Can I ask a practical question?
So Dan, is it your Matchless or is it 2 something else?
It's my Matchless.
Yeah, so Dan's going the forever amp. I'm saying more is more.
More is more. This is not more. More is more.
Andy P. Merry Christmas. Thank you for years of great information and entertainment.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you very much. Mark Rostein. Hello, Mark. Thanks for all your wisdom and entertainment in 2021. Cheers.
Wisdom is a stretch, Mark.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Cheers, Mark. We're feeling pretty good at the moment, actually, because we've got the band thing up and going. We got the experience days up and going.
Well, I think we've eked about as much out of this year as we possibly could have.
We're going to do Stonehenge next year.
Best production value we've ever had.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, buddy.
Really glad you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Aris Purperoglu. Aris Purperoglu. In Cockney rhyming slang, Aris, Aristotle, bottle and glass.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Aris. So you sit on your Aris. Yeah. Sorry about that, Aris. Anyway, he says, hello, Legends. My question. How do I set up my pedal volumes before a gig? I find volume differences when playing with a band, no matter how I set up. What tips do you have?
So, really important question.
Everyone has this problem, so don't feel alone.
Yep. If your amplifier doesn't have a huge amount of headroom, what happens when you get, you have everything at home, it all sounds great. When you get to the gig and you start to turn your amplifier up to play with the band, then all those volumes that you've set with your pedal start, if you're boosting things that might have worked into the amplifier at lower volumes, you get to the band, you turn things up, and then suddenly the amp starts to limit. And then no matter how much you boost, you're just pushing the amp into more limiting. One of the reasons I think Mick and I like high headroom amplifiers is the higher the headroom, the less that is a problem. So yeah, what I would say is, if you set everything so that the amplifier should be, still have a bit of openness about it, and then it's really tricky without knowing the amp, without knowing the pedals. Yeah. But I think if you go back to the setting up your amplifier to use as pedals video we did a couple of weeks ago. The answers are all there, really. It depending on how gainy your amplifier is set.
Yeah, and also whether you're self-mixing or whether you've got somebody out front doing that. Because if you've got someone out front doing that and the monitor feed is good, you don't have to worry quite so much. But again, a bit of a generalisation. I think most of us play in bands with vocal PAs without an out front person most of the time. And indeed, if you are in that situation where you're playing in a band and you've got a vocal PA and you're self-mixing, as it were, that's where it's a struggle, right? Because you've got your nice fat overdrive sound and then whoever's singing sings and it's stamping over everything. I always say to people, you've got to be much louder in the solo than you think.
Yep.
And much quieter in the verses than you think.
Yep.
And that goes contrary to what a lot of sound engineers will tell you, because they want one constant volume.
And they want to push you up.
They'll push you up and pull you down. And I'm just not a fan of that, because they're never awake.
No.
And they're not trying to mix you like a record. They're trying to endure your set so they can get home. And unless it's your own sound engineer, of course, which is a different thing. But I think having that difference in volume and self-mixing and playing as a band. So, listen to a record. The guitar solo is as loud as the lead vocal.
Yep.
That's how loud it's got to be.
Yep.
But when the lead vocal is happening, that lovely distorted guitar that's underneath is way back.
Yeah.
It's way down in the mix. And actually what you can mostly hear is drums and bass and vocals.
Yeah.
Volume pedal could help, like a post volume pedal.
Yep. You might think about setting up underdrives as well for that stuff. Also, again, depending on the amplifier, if you're finding that you're turning your amp up and it's limiting, try turning the bass down on the amplifier a little bit. Controlling the level of bass you're trying to amplify in the amp, because it takes more energy to reproduce those bass frequencies. But limiting those bass frequencies, you actually get a bit more headroom out of the amplifier. So just be aware of those things.
Yeah, and good luck, Aris.
Yeah, good luck, mate.
what happens is everyone else will always tell you you're too loud. Screw those guys.
Totally.
Unless it's over the singing, in which case, shut up.
Shut up, you.
With respect.
With respect, shut up.
Ed Bromiel. Hi, Ed.
Hey, Ed.
Hi, Dan and Mick. I just want to send some holiday cheer from Chicago. Also to recommend a BuzzFeed article about Jason Isbell's residency at the Ryman. It's a great read.
Oh, fantastic.
Thank you. I will read that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
wonderful.
Ed. Where does Dan get his hats, says Tony Davis. Dan...
So I got this at some sort of novelty store.
Dan gets his regular pork pie, trilby, fedora, whatever you want to call it, type hats. I apologise to all the hat... I've basically said Dan gets all his Les Paul Telly Strat guitars from a place called trendhim.com. Trendhim.com. It's a nice hat.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely.
And he says, Ian Thornley. Dan and Ian Thornley are rocking hats better than anyone.
Thank you.
I'm just going to throw Frank Sinatra into the mix there. Rocked, rather than rocking.
Right.
Yeah, someone's got to pick up that mantle.
Yeah.
Can you do any tricks with it yet?
Any tricks?
Yeah. Can you do the one where you sit down on the sofa and it falls forward on your head?
Oh, that, you know, the one where you're...
Rolling down the arm?
Yeah. That thing.
Yeah, that one. What about the flick onto the head? You do that one?
No. I mean, the only one I do is this. I go...
Yeah,
that.
Nice.
That's a trick.
Yeah.
Man, this thing is flipping hot.
Yeah, and what about, do you doff your hat to a handsome human as they walk down the street?
All I can do is go...
Nice. Yeah. It's good. These are all good hat tips, I think.
I'm going to do a vlog on hat etiquette.
Yeah. Hatticut.
Etiquette.
Tony, I hope that helps, Tony. Trendhim.com. They're a Danish company with rubbish packaging and really slow delivery, but the hats are good.
The hats are good.
Apologies to trendhim.com, but it was abysmal. Craig Stanton. Mick, the Fire Mist Gold Club welcomes you with open arms. Thanks, Craig.
Open arms.
My number one is a custom shop Fire Mist Telly, and I love it. Such a unique colour and changes completely in different light, especially on stage. Will you do a blog on different Fender Golds? Well, it's funny you should say that, because I have been researching it. I've been so interested in this, being confused as I am with Fender Golds. Here you go. Here's your different lights then.
It's so great. Beautiful. How are you finding it?
Yeah, save a couple of setup annoyances.
Right.
I really like it. It's loud as pigs.
Yeah.
And it's resonant. It does unfortunately make Blue into quite an average guitar.
Really?
Yeah, resonance wise.
Sure.
Yeah, it's great. I really like it. Get to jam on it tomorrow for the first time.
Fantastic.
Yes, I have started making that vlog and found some really interesting stuff online. I have spoken to a few people about it over the years. Curtis Novak, a few people at the custom shop about finishes and golds.
Right.
Fire Mist, as you may know, being a fan of it, wasn't introduced till 64, 65. It replaced Shoreline Gold in the custom colour chart. Because they were colours that cars used, right?
Which of course came after Spandau Gold.
Indeed. So it shouldn't be Fire Mist Gold because it's supposed to be a 62 relic, so it would have been Shoreline if it was any gold. Aztec Gold didn't appear in Fender's custom colour chart until the 80s.
Really?
Or at least wasn't spec'd on a guitar officially until the 80s.
Wow.
So all those 50s Aztec Gold reissues they're doing, maybe not. Or maybe, because they weren't specified.
Oh.
1952, used by Buick. Aztec Gold.
What colour then is the Gibson?
It might be Aztec Gold.
Oh.
Could be any number of gold hues used by car companies at the time because they weren't specified. Now somebody will have researched this, because as you know, if you're into gold tops, what you'll know is they vary massively.
Right.
How gold they are. I mean, that is a particularly good one.
Yeah.
As you would hope. But they used that wasn't a DuPont colour in the early 50s, apparently.
Right.
So anyway, so I find it all very interesting.
It is all very interesting. I found out some amazing stuff about paint working with Johnny. Yeah.
In Dan's upcoming vlog.
Yeah.
So yeah,
stay tuned.
I will do that. I'll explain a little bit about that and plug it in and some other things. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Craig.
POU Rover, Poo Rover, says, happy holidays. Thanks. You've helped me better appreciate my Mesa Boogie Road King 2. Ever played one? And why do people say Messas or Mesas sound dark?
Well, I've never heard that.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah. Road King. Oh my God. I mean,
really?
I don't know what the Road King 2 is, but I played a few Road Kings in my time. In fact, I think I was maybe even the first person to get one in the UK, but to review on the magazine. What a bonkers amp that was.
Right.
I think people say Mesas sound dark because they don't turn the treble up enough.
Right.
And because the gain does have quite a compressed character. But you can make that amp as trebly as any other amp. The other thing is, I don't know about... Yeah, actually, on all the boogies I had and have, you've got to run that bass low.
Right.
Like 2 to 3, like you would on a Fender.
Right.
And if you crank the bass up, you don't crank the treble round. Treble's always the most powerful EQ control on a boog, and it does define everything else that happens down the EQ stack. You need to read the manual. They don't sound dark at all if you crank them up and get it set right. That's probably why.
Right.
As always, user error. Always user error. Tom McGovern. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Tom.
This is my first VCQ in a while. Happy holidays.
Oh, thank you, mate. And to you.
If you can, try out a Spaceman Aphelion harmonic overdrive, which is now discontinued. It's all op-amp clipping from a TCA chip similar to the one in the Dynacomp.
Oh, wow. What you doing to see a Spaceman?
Parking it, man. I'm just trying to see this chip. Come on, where are you? What does a Dynacomp chip look like, Dan?
Well, it depends which year. The original ones were in a can. In a can.
Coming up over the holiday period is a video with Marcus Reeves. Marcus was on VCQ last week and he stayed over, and on the Tuesday we built the Fuzz-Fi. And so for all this talk of chips and pedals, we did that, and it was really, really enlightening. So the only reason I asked is I wondered if it might be that long thing that's used in the Way Huge.
No.
Which Way Huge is it?
Which Way Huge is it?
Yeah, the
Way Huge.
The llama.
Red Llama.
Red Llama.
Yeah, President Obama and the llama got into a fight. It wasn't Obama Llama Ding Dong.
That's pretty funny.
You sound surprised.
Yeah. There's a great joke on one of the radio channels at the moment from Tim Vine. He says, you get all kinds of things for Christmas. Once a ghost gave me a boomerang. That's going to come back to haunt me.
Here we go.
Anyway, Tom, we will try.
So there is the...
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is that furry stuff?
That's all the dissolved...
You've got to show the people that, Dan.
Yeah. So
can you clean that, or is that too dangerous? I don't mean now. I just mean in general.
So
If you stand in front of the camera
Oh, I see.
Got it?
I see.
There you go.
There we go. So there we go. There's that lovely.
So that's Dan's. What year is that, Dan?
This is first year manufacture.
70 something.
76, I think.
Yeah, so mid 70s Dynacomp, and all that furry grimness on it is similar to what I found under my fridge.
Oh, it's so gross.
Cool. Maybe we will, Tom. We've got some Spaceman effects out there. I don't think we've got one of those. John W. 777, John W. 777 says, Merry Christmas. No question. Just here's funds for the green room and some Rosie treats.
Oh, thank you.
Rosie says, thank you, John.
She's such a good girl.
You're looking after her tonight.
I am. Looking forward to it.
Cheers, mate. Victor Gustafsson. Endless leg ends. No question. Just want to say thank you for inspiration, learning, and personal bankruptcy. See you in 2022. Thanks, Victor. Thank you very much. And Jacob Bartelt.
Hey, buddy.
Jacob says, sorry I've missed the last couple of weeks. No need to apologise, Jacob. Blimey. I wanted to jump on and say thank you for an amazing year and all the knowledge imparted. On the direct show, if y'all heard both through IEMs, would that have changed it? So if we'd been hearing it back through IEMs.
So, no. I'll tell you why. Because the issue isn't the sound. Well, the issue isn't all about the sound. The issue is as much about experience. I think I said in that direct show, the biggest problem that I had is that those situations are great when you're playing quiet, right? So we tried to, let's see what comes up and play quiet and see how it goes. So sonically, they were fine, but because you're operating at such lower volume levels, so much of that interaction that happens harmonically between the guitar and an amplifier that's working, that relationship went. Now, I love sitting at home with the Yamaha TH10 or the Boss Waza headphones or whatever, and it's great fun. The difference, I think, coming in here, where we're so used to turning up, and the whole reason we built this is so that we could get things in a certain space, volume-wise and harmonically, so that we could and try and capture that, so you guys would get some sort of idea of what it feels like, and to have that taken away, that was the thing for me that was really hard.
I think, Jacob, there's some truth in your question to say that once you do take all that away and you're just hearing it back through IEMs, then I absolutely think it gets ironed out to a point where it could be, almost identical. I can always hear the top end, I think, in the direct sounds, but there's an EQ job to do there.
Sure.
But really, it is about what Dan says. It is about that harmonic feedback between speaker, guitar, and human, and it's not just about overdrive sounds. We filmed a show last week on clean sounds. We do a show purely on clean sounds, loud clean sounds. This was a clean sound, right? A clean guitar sound, beautiful, big, round, clean guitar sound, and there was harmonic feedback coming off some of those notes because of all that extra harmonic interplay and beautiful stuff. A clean guitar sound.
Wonderful.
And that's the stuff that exists for us anyway. You play and there is a resultant sound. Everything that I want as guitar is what happens in between those two things.
Yeah.
It's the physical, connected experience of it all going through you.
Yeah.
And if you're and we've been over this so many times, but if you're in a situation where your job is to regurgitate something, I appreciate that's a slightly negative way to put it. If your job is to play a part the same all the time, every night, and just reproduce it, then it doesn't matter as much. And that's cool. And there's no sort of pejorative view on that, because that's what most professional musicians do most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm personally looking for something more than that, which is a connection to that music and performance and playing, which is which is not that. We do it because we love it, not because it's our job.
Yeah.
And that might sound ridiculous and privileged and all the rest of it, but that's why we do it.
Yeah.
I do it purely because I love it.
Yep.
Not because I have to do it, or I'm annoyed at carrying a 4x12 up a fire escape, or I can't get to the gig on the train, and I don't care about that stuff. I bought a knackered old car because a 4x12 can go in the boot with the seats up
and not just any 4x12.
No, and the parcel shelf off. So I'm like completely the other side of the practicality divide. And to be fair, we don't play that much. So
it's a very different set of prerequisites.
Horses,
yeah,
courses, what's relevant, what's appropriate, because clearly it's not appropriate for a lot of situations. So I think, would be having it in IEMs have ironed out some of the differences? Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely, it would.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Because also it's got to, whatever's going on in the IEMs as well, there's that whole process to deal with. Yeah. Yeah, cool.
That's the end of the super chat. So we've got a few minutes left and we can dive into the regular chat. I've got to say a massive sorry to Patrick Carroll. Patrick, genuinely sorry. Patrick is the guy who keeps asking for the ZVEX Octane 3. And we keep promising to do it, and we never do it. And Patrick says, I've contributed to the super chat. I've been asking for years, and I've been told that the ZVEX Octane 3 would be on. And my dollars appears to have been a bust. If you told me, it would be cool. But it was even held up to the camera. Patrick, we're really sorry. We're really sorry. I don't know. How do we remember, Dan? How do we remember to feature the ZVEX Octane 3?
Tell you what. This is it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on the board for tomorrow's show.
Okay.
Okay.
How do we remember to do that?
I'm going to leave it here.
Right.
There you go, Patrick.
The danger is I'll tidy it up.
Yeah, I know. There you go. So pretty.
Okay.
Well, but you'll know now. Don't tidy that up.
Yeah. Sorry, Patrick.
I've got something else here I might put on the board.
You do. And I just wanted to mention Daniel. Woo, hello Daniel. He says, greetings from Ohio. Love watching your videos. What kind and how long is your guitar cable to your pedal board when playing live? And how do you organise it to prevent stepping on it?
That's a really good question. I normally go for 18 feet?
3 metres.
3 metres.
3 metres, 15 foot.
Yeah.
That's what we both use to the board. That is long enough to get back to your amp usually.
Yeah.
And long enough to go and play the solo in the front row. No, it's been a long time since we've done that. But not so long that you get it. And the way I do it is I put my board slightly to the right.
I do exactly the same thing.
Because my right foot does all the switching. Now, this is a problem if you're left-footed and left-handed, right? Because everything is wrong at that point.
Yeah.
And I don't mean wrong. I mean, sorry, what I mean is inconveniently designed.
Yeah. But, so, I don't have my pedal board right in front of me. I have it to the right.
Yeah.
And so I'm not, I'm far enough forward. My right foot's doing all the switching and it's all just there. As opposed to, it's actually, if you think about it, if I'm playing and I've got to have my foot pass in front of me, it doesn't work for me. So I'm here. And it's just easy.
And that doesn't really matter if you stand stage right or stage left, because your little world is the same.
Exactly.
You ought to be looking forwards, really, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
One thing that we were talking about with Marcus Reeves, mate of his makes cables. Shout out to Axe custom cables. Makes really nice cables. I mean, you know, all premium cables are nice, but these look pretty nice. And he has this theory that you want higher cap between your guitar and the board, and really low cap from the board to the amp.
Okay.
Because, and funnily enough, I was reading about some Stevie Ray Vaughan pickups today. Somebody sent me a link to some pickups that are exactly the same as SRVs. And I'm interested in that for two reasons. Here's the tangent. This guitar has Texas Specials.
Right.
Pickup that I've never really liked. I didn't buy it for the pickups, bought it for the guitar. And I've never really liked Texas Specials. They were first spec'd in the SRV Signature Stratocaster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But if you look at them, they're all wrong. They've got plain enamel wire. Stevie's pickups in number 1 were heavy form var.
Right.
And in addition, they were even coated in an extra foil layer around the windings.
Right.
Which dulls off the high end even more.
Yeah, interesting.
And what the you know, pound for pound, apples for apples comparison, the plain enamel wire does have this kind of, always sounds like there's a buffer on to me. It's got that really high end.
Right.
Why is this important? It's said that Rene Martinez got him some low cap cables, and he's like, no way.
Okay.
Too much electricity going through that.
Right.
Was his quote. And if you talk to Mark Foley about it from MF Pickups, Mark Foley Pickups, he's really passionate about there needs to be some considerable capacitance
between the guitar
and the front. So sorry.
Think about the buffer show.
Yeah.
It makes complete sense. You
know. So he liked lower cap, longer cables. Higher cap, longer cables. Albert Collins famously.
Yeah. Albert Collins, man.
So sorry, it's a bit of a tangent to your question, but that length of that cable between the guitar and the front of your board is absolutely crucial.
Yep, definitely.
If you've got buffers on your board, less crucial downwind, because there's enough whack to be getting everything through to the amp.
Yep. I got to show people this.
Yeah, so, okay. I want to say thanks to Steve Hodge. Steve got in touch. Steve's been amassing a bunch of stuff over the years and is having a change of direction with his playing and gear, and emailed and said, I got this stuff and there's some interesting stuff in there. Do you want it? I'll do you a job lot price. And I looked through the list and I'm like, oh. So we did a deal with Steve and he was extremely generous. And I went to pick up the stuff yesterday, and some cool stuff you'll see over coming months on TPS. But there's a present in there for Dan for Christmas, even though you paid for half of it, Dan. Dan has finally got...
Look at that! Look at that!
Back a bit.
No, that was good.
Get the light, man. There you go. That is the treble booster, or at least the treble boosters that Brian May used were made by Pete Cornish.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, man.
So we haven't plugged it in yet.
No.
The other things we got, which are pretty
But
exciting.
So when I put a rig together for Paul Stacey years ago, when he was doing the Neil Finn tour, he had one, and it was the most extraordinary sounding treble booster. So I've been trying to buy one ever since. Ah, look at that! Look at that. So that's a proper valve-driven spring reverb.
It's a...
Just unreal.
It's a Benson Studio Tallbird true stereo valve-driven spring reverb, which is partly about the insane power amp racky wet dry rig that is taking shape, and is partly about putting together a few bits of nice analog stuff here for our production stuff. So anyway, congrats, Dan.
Thank you.
Was that your first ever Pete Cornish pedal?
My first ever Pete Cornish pedal. I'm so pleased.
Nice.
I'm so pleased.
Nice.
Thank you for that, mate.
And thanks to Steve for doing such a stellar deal on it all and being so nice about everything. Thank you, Steve. We really appreciate it. Right. Melekaliki Maka from Ohio says Mentona Man.
Mentona Man.
Yeah. You know that song?
No.
Melekaliki Maka, Melekamiki Mala's what they sing. It was on. I was in TK Maxx and it was being playing there. So it's the Hawaiian Christmas greeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dwayne Jessam says, I can't wait to hear that.
Man.
Plug it in then, let's have it, says Jiminy Cricket. All in good time. Hobo Roadie says, pretty crucial here. I need a 30-foot coily cable to make it across the piles of gear in the bedroom. Bjorn Lodvar Larsen says, we're sponsoring you guys too much. Jesus, WTF. Bjorn, if I told you what we paid for all that stuff, you'd probably have a small heart attack.
You'd be very angry.
Steve did us a stupid deal on it all, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe off topic, says Mr. Salingo. Any thoughts on music by the War on Drugs and having Adam Granduciel, apologies, on the show? Kind regards and Merry Christmas.
War on Drugs, wonderful.
Simon really loved the War on Drugs.
Really, really great.
Yeah, I need to try a bit harder.
Yeah.
I put a couple albums on in the studio here, and it hasn't clicked for me yet, and that usually just means I haven't tried hard enough. But yes, would love to have him on the show.
Oh, before I forget, Tom Bukovac's birthday today.
Tom.
Happy birthday, Tom.
Happy birthday, Tom.
Uncle Larry, you
Blimey.
legend.
And BV, thanks for reminding us of that.
Yes. Indeed, BV.
Yes, James G. Robertson says Shoreline Gold is a favourite of mine.
I think it's beautiful.
That's finest.
Gold.
Airfire. Ed, he said, I would super chat today, but I'm going through a period of financial embarrassment over Christmas. Mick, I'm looking for a compressor VST plugin. Any recommendations just to EQ on a new guitar track? Ed, I'm not a compressor expert, but the two I always use are the 1176 UA style, which is great for everything. Slightly more characterful and fun sounding is the Teletronics LA2A. And I love both of those things.
Yeah, they're both epic.
Really, really lovely things. So Teletronics LA2A or Universal Audio 1176A. Good luck.
Ed Bromwell says, Jam, Pig Dog, Pete Cornish, new Treble Booster show.
Yes.
Yes, of course. And of course, the did I say Pig Dog?
Yeah.
Yes, Pig Dog, yeah.
Yeah. John Channing, thanks for your Santa joke. It's too rude to say on the air. John, thank you. I'm chuckling inside.
Hang on, I'm looking for it. Flippin' heck.
Nice. Cool. All right. So what's going to happen over the lovely holidays? Next Friday is Christmas Eve. So we won't be putting a full show out on Christmas Eve. Dan and I are we're going to have some non-screen time actually. And just stop for a week. So
I think between Christmas and New Year,
yeah,
we're just turning our phones off. If you want to join us in that endeavour, fantastic.
Please do. Please make your life better if you possibly can do that. So the next show will be on New Year's Eve, on the 31st of December, main show, and that will feature our good friend building the fuzz face.
Wonderful.
So why have I forgotten his name? I've got tip of the tongue theory. Marcus Reeves. Marcus Reeves. Sorry.
It was contagious there for a minute. I'm like,
I'm trying to. Yeah, it's a psychological phenomenon.
It is a psychological phenomenon.
So that will be
album.
a bit of fun on New Year's Eve, and then I don't know, when are you going to post your acoustic guitar vloggerations?
So around then.
Around then, yeah.
So, at some point. I think for me, the latter half of this year especially has been so full on. Like, we moved house and everything. We had my wife and I, we just haven't stopped. It's been so full on. So I'm really looking forward to just unplugging. I've got to finish my EP. It's all done. I've got to put some vocals on it. So I want to get that done. But I'm going to turn my phone off.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be playing this unbelievable thing and just defrag.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same. So we won't be very visible in the comments or anything like that. We're going to just have that week of rest and rest. Yeah, just rest. Please, if you can, if you're able, try and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Even if it's only for a day or two. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. And then we kick off next year with much more fun. We'll have some band shows. We're going to build Neville's pedalboard. The Strat vlogs, all kinds of good fun stuff, and then hopefully before too much longer into next year we can start a slightly bigger band thing happening in this room, with at least another guitar and maybe some keys if Jack's up for it.
I'd love to get him in.
Yeah. But slowly catch your monkey. Please don't catch any monkeys. You gonna play us out, Dan?
I'll play us out.
As always, everyone, thanks for being with us.